Hi guys, this is part 2 of 3. We're going to start with Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. In the end times, the red horse's rider is given a sword in his hand. The purpose of the rider is to take peace from the earth, that each person might kill one another. Revelation 13, chapter 13, verse 10 includes this, quote, "He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword." And this part of the book of Revelation comes directly after a description of the beast who is given power by the dragon. And he, quote, "opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven." Revelation 13, verse 6. And many people in the world right now are doing this. However, Islam and Christian groups, so-called Christian groups, are doing it more often than others. Okay? Examine these points, bearing in mind every word from the scripture, Revelation chapter 13, verse 6. First, Islam teaches that the name of God is not Yahweh. Yahweh means behold the hand, behold the nail, signifying the sacrifice of Jesus. This is not taught or tolerated by true Islam. False teachers of Christianity also water down the importance of God's name or are completely ignorant of its significance. In Israel, the tabernacle used to be where God came unto his people. It is a word used definitively for this purpose. Islam and unfaithful Christian groups both mock the idea of the tabernacle being important today, and God said differently in his word. Islam teaches very strongly that every one of the 12 disciples and other apostles were liars. And God says multiple times in his word that he hates lies and lying people. Yet the Quran teaches that it's okay to lie. How could the two faiths, contradicting one another, 100% be correct? They are not. Just one is correct. The one that existed 600 years before the other and is true, verifiably. Jesus spoke of false prophets rising in the latter days, and the latter days were beginning even in the weeks following his ascension and continue today. This is why Muhammad contradicts Christ and his closest followers, simply because he is a false teacher, a false Messiah, a false prophet. All prophets are teachers, false or true, but not all teachers may necessarily be prophets. So, finally, the apostles, Christ, and his 12 disciples are absolutely in heaven right now, yet Islam blasphemes all of the apostles, the disciples, and everyone that has ever died with the faith that Christ was the only sacrifice acceptable unto God for their salvation. The scriptures in Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 warn us of false teachers, and in other places it says, a prophet is a teacher. Islam is said very often by some followers to be the religion of peace. Yeah, right. Somehow every nation in the world that has this religion of peace is brutally violent, extremely poor, and without a doubt does not have peace. These are the wolves in sheep's clothing mentioned in Matthew 7:15.